That's it, especially the Wrekroom.
Shout out to the Wrekroom. We in this
Come on, man. We at the Wrekroom.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Soto Pritchie coming to you live from Studio 88 with...
What's good, y'all? It's your boy OG, Manny B. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's please welcome our next guest. He's the creator of Disease Jokes. He has performed at over 26 events and has told jokes for thousands.
You probably seen him on the news, you probably not. But please welcome the Wrekrooms' first comedian guest, AJ Coulter.
What? I'm the first? This is like...
Yeah, man.
First comedian, man. First comedian.
I'm honored, dog. I am honored.
We're honored to have you, man. Shit, it's about
Thank
time.
you for coming, man.
They
Thank
didn't
you.
even tell me. It's like I like that like grand surprise opening. You guys didn't even like tell. I'm honored, bro. I get to be the first one. I guess it's kind of pressure though, because I got to be funny, right?
Welcome. And just to give you guys a quick background on AJ, we actually met back in September at the Accelerator networking event. That's who we also met. We already knew who they were, but that's where we linked up with Tax Free Tim and Word of Mouth Productions. I don't know if you guys are already accustomed, but like that's how we met you. They're like, hey, meet AJ real quick. And I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure if I met them, but I'm just glad to run across you guys.
Yeah, so it was great. That's actually where we met. It was great to meet, and man, here we are now.
Yeah, we doing it. We in here.
Hell yeah, man. So, let's start off with your background. Where are you from? And
tell the people what you do.
Yeah.
Tell them,
What do you do?
drop your tag, and yeah. So.
I'm a country boy, dude. Like I'm from Oklahoma, from the Midwest. Pretty much. I mean, I kind of grew up in the sticks, man. You hear Oklahoma, you instantly think country. Like we had those people that were like, oh, dude, did they ride? They still ride in carriages and buggies there, but it's not like that, man. We like up and coming. Like people do it all the time. But then I have to be like, oh yeah, I do go like noodling and hunting and stuff, but like it's not like that. Yeah, dude. Like, I grew up. It's crazy. I actually do this whole bit about eating squirrels.
Squirrels,
yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
How does that taste? Is it gamey?
Yeah, it's gamey. It's like anything. You don't want to be like, oh, it tastes like chicken. You just want to be like, yeah, it tastes like squirrel. But it's kind of nutty.
Kind of nutty.
Nah, but I grew up in Oklahoma. I guess what I do currently is I travel across the nation working for various businesses, nonprofits, and I tell jokes about kidney disease. I am a 5.5-year dialysis survivor. I just got a transplant about a year ago.
Wow.
I suffer from an autoimmune disease that specifically attacks your kidneys called focal segmental glomerulosclerosis.
Damn. And when did you find out that you had that? Was it at an early age?
It's kind of crazy. I actually found out when I was 27.
Damn.
Yeah, so a little bit later in life, which is very common for those kind of diseases. But never knew I had it. Found out when I was 27. The doctor was telling me, like, hey, you had this kidney disease. We think it might have started progressing when you were 16. It's genetic. It's kind of crazy because, like, throughout my life, I never heard of anybody having this disease in my family, so I still haven't traced it back. I don't know my dad, so it could be something on my dad's side, but not really sure where it came from. But for me, like, I believe it's a blessing, man, because it just changed my life for the better. Like, over time, of course, it's like hard, and kidney disease should never be something that we look down on. It should be like, it's always a fight for life or death, but I just believed how it came in my life. It was a blessing,
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's crazy how that it affected you at late stages of life.
Yeah. It was definitely crazy. At the time I was just going through a lot. I was a big drinker at the time. I'm like 5.5, 6 years sober now.
Oh, that's nice.
And,
Hell yeah, congrats.
Oh man, I love it, bro. Like, it's just, a lot of sobriety comes with like a lot of clarity. There was a lot of growth there. But I was like drinking hardcore. I was like definitely that partier, bro. I was the one. I was that guy that was like, oh, that's the wild card. That was me, bro.
What was your poison?
Huh?
What was your poison?
What was my poison?
Yeah.
Alcohol for sure, but dude, you know people are a monster when you drinking Ruppelmans, dog. Like, so, yeah.
Jeez.
I was that guy.
God damn.
You say Ruppelmans?
Ruppelmans, bro.
What is that?
Oh, the 100 proof peppermint stuff.
Yeah, that shit is fucking wild,
Yeah,
son.
it's like up there with like Everclear. Like just picture your boy drinking Everclear. Like you
It's
just go
tough.
out. Yeah, it's tough. Like you quickly drunk, bro. There's no like in between. There ain't no pregame. Like you straight to the party, dog.
Just straight. Did you drink? You used to drink it like straight twos, or do you just have a chaser?
Oh yeah, straight. Man, I was definitely hard in that carport party scene.
Hard
like,
to the paint.
We you know, it's funny because I never get to talk about this stuff. You know, it's always like different things. But you know, we had a friend group of like 14 people, and all we did was party. We started a group we called the Squad. You know,
shit.
and we would meet every Friday at 3:15, bro. I don't even know what, no, 3:16. I'm sorry. We would meet every Friday at 3:16, and that was just like the start of the weekend. We all meet up, and then we'd play quarters, and then
Nice.
by Friday night we're going out and going hard like the whole weekend.
So you guys are all club hopping and shit.
Yeah, club hopping, throwing parties. Our house was the house of sin, bro. Yeah.
That's just dope. And so when you say the house, were you part of a frat at the time, or?
Oh no, it was just something like me and my boys had. Like I was living there, we just did the most, bro. Like it was girls constantly over there in and out. You know, the typical like
yeah, the
bro party house. You know, and as crazy as it is, like I'm definitely in a different elevation in my life. But it's important to remember where you came from and like the transition of growth you had. You know, because at the end of the day, I will never deny my past because, you know, I'm not the person who I was. Like there's a lot of growth in like mindset and like, you know, I'm religious. I believe in God. I think that's personal to everybody. I don't ever press my stuff, but I think everything is just a part of our growth. And you have to kind of have, you got to recognize your past and have appreciation for it.
Yeah, of course. You always got to reflect on that.
Yeah, 100%.
So I wanted to ask you, going back to the hereditary disease.
Mhm.
Do you have any siblings or anything like that? Has it skipped some, or is it just?
Man, honestly, there is nobody in my family right now that I know of that has this disease.
That's
I'm
crazy.
the only one that was just so young. My uncle actually had cancer, and so that was the one. Like, I was like, I don't want that C word, bro.
Yeah,
but
big C. No.
yeah. So he actually ended up dying from it, and it was like,
sorry for that.
man, for me, like, death is a part of my life. I think because I'm kind of building up into like why, because 2018 was a very important year for me. It was actually when we started doing that 316 thing hard. This was like
Ooh.
2 years being on dialysis, you know.
Yeah.
And
That shit's rough.
Yeah. I was connected to a machine 3 times a week, 4.5 hours a day, stuck in there with and you watching people die around you, bro. Like just saying, because most people average age is usually 60 to like 80 for people on dialysis, so it's a bunch of older people, and people are just like, I had a dude die like right next to me. It was just like,
Damn.
it's crazy, bro. And then there was also a guy that was like in prison, and they had him like handcuffed to the chair, dog. Like my first day, and I was like, what the heck? Like the first day I walked into dialysis, dude's like, I was like,
Just
they don't even
chained
care,
up.
bro. Just chained, like braces and everything connected to that dialysis chair. But I know he was happy because he was watching TV, like
Got
they
to be
gave him the
comfortable.
music. Yeah,
A
he
little bit of
got some yard time. So I was like, I never been so motivated to commit a crime, bro.
That's real. That's real.
yeah. Because if I did, I'd get that free time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Definitely. Get to be comfortable chilling, watching.
Yeah,
But-
that daytime TV. Because for him, he was in County, bro. Like he had the orange jumpsuit, so we know he ain't got no entertainment there. So he was probably like, y'all suck. I'm about to go watch TV for like 4.5 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that dialysis time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you say you're from Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
When did you come to Arizona?
I came in 2021.
21. Okay, so not too far.
Yeah, it was crazy. Man, we're jumping around, so we're gonna get back to everything. But
Oh yeah.
I came out here and 21 because I was telling jokes about kidney disease on Snapchat and Facebook, and it accumulated me a lot of followers. I think I got like 15,000 followers that year. But I was doing like more blue comedy, which is like raunchy comedy or it's just raunchy comedy. Anything that's raunchy that's not clean is blue comedy, right? And so I was doing blue jokes, and everybody was like so interested. It was like, "Oh, you telling this is so funny." And my sister was like, "Hey, you should go be a stand-up comedian." And at the time, I was like homeless. 2020 was a tough year for me. Just homeless and wasn't doing nothing. I was like, why not? So I like packed up like all the money I had saved, bought a brand new BRZ.
Ooh, okay, a BRZ?
Yeah, 2020, bro. Brand new BRZ. Whipped it out here, packed up all my stuff I had, just cruising. And then like the third day here got totaled.
Damn.
Yeah, that was the start of my year in Arizona, dog.
Oh, man.
Where was this? Where the accident happened at?
Yeah.
Oh, man, 7th Ave.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, of course, like all the spots, you know. Like this woman, like, man, you know, when I'm on that national news one day, I'm gonna call this woman out, bro. But also, like, she basically was like in a hurry and like turned out and hit me, and I wasn't even really mad about that. It's super cool. I was more mad about the insurance company. I was like, do not total this car. Do not total this car. And they totaled the car, bro. And it was just like buckled in. I don't understand that.
Oh, shit.
I'm still mad about that like 3 years later, bro.
I would be too.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah. This brand new car was gone. It was beautiful. It was red.
Oh, red one?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Why, lady? Why?
Why? She didn't know. She's on her way. It was just a hurry to work. So I gotta get to work. She's a little like Hispanic lady. She getting to work. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it usually happens.
One of them.
But
So from that on, what happened? When did you perform your first comedy club out here?
it was actually kind of funny because I actually booked a show my first time.
Really?
Yeah, usually in the comedy world, you want to start at open mic, you know, go out there, not even, and this is like people that are thinking about, you know, getting into comedy. The first thing you want to do is just get on stage. Don't worry about writing, because if you're like, I'm going to write some jokes and get ready, you're going to be writing that forever. Just go jump on stage, because you're going to know after that first time if you're going to want to do comedy or not. Because it was the same thing for me. But it's actually like a pretty cool story. Again, telling jokes about kidney disease. I moved here January 21st, or in January 21, but I didn't start doing comedy until March. And so I didn't really know a lot about it. Just before I Googled, and I accidentally like called around and I booked this show. And I remember walking into the green room, and I'm like in there, and I'm like, hey, like, how long you been doing comedy? He was like, oh, like 7 years. Oh, like 8 years.
Damn.
Oh, like 12 years. And he was like, how long you been? I was like, it's my first time, you know. Like, I just got here, you know. It's like nervous. And
Yeah,
scared.
it's my first time here.
Yeah. Like, I didn't know it was a show, and like people like paid to be there, you know. And I was just like super nervous. And so I remember walking out there, and I was scared because comedy. I played football in college, bro. And when they had media days, I was like always grabbing the mic, like, yeah, it's me. Like the coaches would be like, no, we gotta take the mic for him. Don't get a mic to this guy, because like speaking on like, you know, TV, it's totally different being on stage telling comedy, because when you're up there, it's intimate. You're letting yourself out. You're letting people know who you are. Like you really like, it's just two different things, bro. So I thought I was ready.
How big was the room? Like how many heads?
It was probably just like 30 people. It wasn't big. It was at JP's Comedy Club out in Gilbert.
Oh, nice.
So it's like a little small, intimate venue. I mean, I already liked it. It's kind of crazy that I started my career there. And so I'm like walking on stage, you know, and I'm like just terrified, because like this is like totally different experience. And so the joke that I wrote was kind of crazy. So my friend, like, it was probably like 2 weeks before. I have this friend, his name is Derek, and actually it's kind of crazy because I can kind of put this out here. It's kind of cool now, but he has a nonprofit, and I started mine. That's where Disease Jokes come from. I have a nonprofit and an LLC.
Nice.
And so his nonprofit is doing very well. We actually just recently did a partnership. And so with Read the Future, which I haven't told anybody yet, but you guys hearing it now. So
Hey, first.
we getting, that's what it's about, partnering up with different comedians. I mean, not different companies, and building that brand together. And so he was the first person that inspired me for this joke. And I didn't know who he was. He's from Africa, and so those cultures are different, right?
Yeah.
And so he knocks on the door. It was actually my roommate's best friend, and he knocks on the door, and I open the door. And when you're on dialysis, like, if you can see my arm right here,
Yeah, that shit is, that's about how long the tube is.
yeah. So like, this is called a fistula, and they tie a vein and an artery together, and so over years, it makes this vein swell up, and so it actually, like, over time, it caused like 2 bumps. I had 2 aneurysms on there.
Damn, 2 aneurysms.
Yeah, like right here, like just 2 large bumps, but it just happens from sticking so many times. And so he opens his door and he looks at my arm. He just starts freaking out. He's like, "What the fuck is wrong with your arms?" And like I was just like, I'm like casual, because it's like every day from him. I'm like, "Bro, like, chill. I just got the disease. Don't worry about it." And he's like, "What disease?" And this is like right like COVID, so he's just losing it. And I was like, "Oh my
shit.
God, this is gonna be my joke, bro. This is gonna be my joke." And so I'm walking on stage, and I'm like, "Dude, I have the video, bro." I always kept the video on there, because just to remind me of where I came from. And I was just like, kind of holding the mic like this, I'm like, got my head down because I'm nervous. And I'm like, "Yeah, my roommate's here." Like, they're right there. I'm going to, and I'm nervous and I'm pacing. And I'm like, "Yeah, so my friend walks in the other day and he sees my arm and little bumps." And like, I got this long sleeve shirt on, and I didn't know anything about comedy, right? And so I'm like, "Yeah, he probably thought, I was from that movie Aliens," and like, just open my like thing and bust out, and this little plastic alien falls out of my arm, dog. Yeah. And so the crowd starts laughing. Ran off stage, dog. I was out, bro. I was already back in the green room, and I remember the host running up, because they didn't know, bro. And they were like, "Oh, that's just AJ Kerr." Like, they didn't know, because it's like they didn't know I was gonna run off stage, and it was so crazy. And I was like, "Man, I don't know if I want to do this again." I was so scared. And then, like, I stayed for the rest of the show, and then after the show, I was walking out, and this lady was like, "Don't know who she is, bro." She was like, "You got something here. Keep it going." And here I am 3 years later, traveling professionally, getting paid to tell comedy about kidney disease, dog.
That shit's dope, man. That's honestly
bro.
dope.
That's some dope ass shit.
Yeah, it's wild, dude. You never know what your paths end up, dog.
How long did you do the comedy clubs until you started doing events?
Man, everything happened so fast. Now there was a lot of growth that came with this. Definitely not the same person I was in 2021. Won't be in the next 2 years. It happened like relatively quick. Pretty much 2022, dude. Oh my gosh, I get to tell like. So a lot of people, we talk, but I don't never get to tell like all this stuff, because it's so much. But 2022, I think, man, I don't even know if it's wait, I'm trying to think. When did I get my kidney? Last year? Oh no, so it was 2021. Dude, everything went so fast. 2021, I started like really meeting people. It was the first time I got on news for ABC 15. And they did a news story about me telling jokes, and I met with this kidney foundation called 1 in 9. And then pretty much after that, I started doing events with them, walks, telling shows, doing that. And then I partnered with my second kidney foundation, which I've been working with them ever since it started, called NephCure, and they take care of me. And that happened in like April, and they actually took me out. I did some small stuff with them, and then they actually found me on from my news story.
Oh, really?
And I remember the executive director calling me. She's like, "Yeah, I saw your news story. You got FSGS." And I was like, "Yeah." And so pretty much a year later, skipping through a lot, I remember my first paid gig. It was the craziest thing, because I got my kidney last year. I'm really tempted to look this up because I'm like, is this 21? No, it was. I think it was definitely last year, and I actually turned down the first kidney I got. I had already been on dialysis for 5.5 years, and I turned it down because I had an offer to go out and meet George Lopez.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and not only that, it was kidney month last March, and yeah, it was kidney month last March, and March is National Kidney Month, right? And so I'm busy, bro. Like, that's the busiest month.
Yeah, that's your
I'm
month
talking
right
about
there.
every month, like, I'm working with different foundations, 4 or 5 foundations in that month. It's always crazy time of the year. So I was doing stuff for NephCure and 1 in 9 and a couple of other ones, the Kidney Foundation in Arizona. Just a lot. Lots going on. And so I'm like, man, it is not the time to take this break and get this kidney, because they actually called me. I was on a list for 2 weeks. And I got the call for a kidney, and I turned it down because I just felt like it wasn't time. I mean, I felt like God wasn't, like,
Yeah, you
giving me
still
that
need to work.
message. Yeah, like, I still needed to put in that work, and I knew I would get it, bro. Like, I just didn't feel it was the time, so I turned it down. So I had that offer to go out to L.A. and do George Lopez's charity golf tournament. And so I remember that April,
Nice.
I flew out there to L.A., met him, met D.L. Hughley, met a lot of different celebrities.
Wow, that shit's awesome.
Just
Honestly.
people there like Cedric the Entertainer and, of course, DL, and just so many, like, famous people, bro, in that little circle. And that was, like, a great experience for me, just, like, getting in touch with that life, you know. And right after that, I went out to Disney World, bro.
Oh.
And that is powerful because that was the first ever paid gig I ever did doing comedy.
Really? That's
And I
just
made
crazy.
$1,000, and I did 15 minutes of comedy. And I told jokes in front of, like, people that have kidney disease, that have FSGS specifically, and it's so funny because the things that go with that, and it's just chuckle because I know this story, you know. I went out there and I was doing blue comedy first. And this is before I was, like, completely started to go clean because you're, like, working with these foundations and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And I just remember being on stage and I was like, yeah, man, you know, FSGS, like, it just gives you these crazy, crazy side effects. And, you know, one of the craziest things is, like, I suffer from erectile dysfunction, bro. Like, and this is in front of, like, you know, 200-300 people. I suffer
Damn.
from, like, erectile dysfunction. Yeah, it's like a king size deflated air mattress with a broken pump. Yeah, and that was, like, how I describe, like, erectile dysfunction to these people. But, you know, it wasn't they were so mesmerized by the story, like, I don't think anybody mattered. But it was kind of funny because I went back to San Diego this year with NephCure, and it's always funny how you, like, reconnect with people from your past and they don't realize, like, the growth you had. And this lady comes up to me and she's like, "Oh yeah, I remember you. You the one that was talking about your broken penis." Yeah, so, like,
Yes, that's me.
yeah. And it was kind of funny because as I'm going up to speak this year and they bringing me back, I just go up there and I'll be like, "Yeah, I remember that first year I was talking about erectile dysfunction, Justin." But yeah, at the end of the day, I do mostly like clean comedy because I work with so many different kidney foundations and chronic illness foundations. But it's always fun to tell, like, the little tidbits that people don't get to know about, you know.
Was it hard to switch your comedy from blue to clean?
Oh yeah, man. They say blue comedy. It's easy to make a fart toilet jokes, tripping joke. I mean, they're just easy, bro. Like, but clean comedy is very challenging, bro, because it's like there's things you want to say, you can't really say them how you want to. You have to do it in such a unique way that, you know, it can be funny, it's grungy, but it's, like, not, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. But even clean comedy can be edgy, but you just can't go all the way over. It's definitely challenging, bro.
That's cool. That's cool, honestly.
when you were starting your comedic journey, what was some of the best advice that you got?
From like just anybody in
Just
general.
anybody in general.
Man, I think when you start to elevate, you have so many people that, because I still struggle with a lot of stuff today because there's a lot, with my past and, growing into a person, like it's important to know like your triggers. It's important to know like you have to accept like everything you are. You have to be true to yourself. And so my thing is I work on myself every day. Like I know, I stay away from stuff that I know that like triggers me, and I stay away from like, because I have an addictive personality, and so I stay away from things that I know I can be like, who habitual bring up bad habits with, but it's just really like constantly working on yourself. But I think the most valuable, I don't know, I say top. I get great advice because I meet like some of the coolest people, bro. Like I remember. I met Brandon Howard, and if y'all don't know what that's he's one of Michael Jackson's sons, kind of.
Oh yes, actually, yeah.
Yeah. And so we didn't even really talk or know each other, and he knew my story, and we met the first day, and he just approached me. He was like, "Bro, you're gonna go far with this. You're already a celebrity." And this was kind of like my first year, And you hear little things like that, but you don't really start to believe in it, because you don't like comedy is fresh. We're starting something new. You're not familiar with it, and then one of my other friends, I'm just giving kind of my top three. One of my other friends, his name is Adam O, and he actually invented the prosthetic running leg.
Oh really?
Yeah, like crazy.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, crazy like. Millionaire people that are telling me things, and he was just telling me that you're going to be successful because you found something that helps people. And then another very guy that I met, because I've had different mentors, there's people that come in your life, and you hear it all the time, and some stay there, and then some are there for the moment to help you, push
elevate,
up.
yeah.
And another guy's name was Michael, and he was the CEO for this financial company. And I think that was, and this is something I think about every day, and it's like it's the craziest thing. And it's not like a big saying or anything. It was just like made me realize, except in this situation, because I get to talk all I want. But it just makes me think about all the time when I engage in people. He was telling me that when you meet somebody, just listen to them or let them keep talking. Don't say anything, just listen, and you can learn and grow from that. Because sometimes we get so excited, we want to get our point across that we don't really listen to people's stories. And so one of the biggest thing is when I meet people, I try to listen more. And that right there was like probably the most valuable advice I've heard. I mean, I've heard a lot of good stuff, but I hold that one with me because sometimes we just need to shut up and listen.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people that need to do that too.